Welcome back to episode 10 of Let's Play. It's very easy to lose track with everything that goes on. So last episode we visited the Stronghold, which was extremely lucrative. Got some great books if you remember, and they've already been put onto my sword. Got a really nice sword now, which is going to help obviously. It's really good to have looting 3 in particular, for when I want to get certain drops. You're wondering what's going on with these 2 pits. I did mention at the end of last episode that I wanted to build a barn, somewhere to keep the animals, that they weren't just in those ugly pens. And beneath the barn, I wanted to get a wool farm, because I do like building with wool. It's good for the colours, it's good for ancient cities as well. That was one of the reasons I mentioned. It might be useful to have lots of wool for. So what I've done, just a bit of preparation, is I've moved all the animals I had from those pens that were behind me now into these holes, because I needed to make some space and actually cut back the grass a little bit, so all this stone was where the grass edge was. Just try and fit in like this barn, and I think something like an L shape would work well, kind of bordering the house, and then the entrance to the Wizard's Tower, Wizardly Way. It's right there. So I think it fits in the gap quite nicely. It's going to be quite snug. Right there's the drop chute. Everything's coming along quite nicely. I'm going to get some paths going along the side of the house, connecting some of these new builds when they're done. But for now, I just wanted to show you this prep work that I've done. I don't need all these animals, it's quite a lot of cows. And for the sheep, I'm going to have a few just on top, just for aesthetics. Like I said, most will be hidden away in a space on the ground that I've started also digging out. This is my marking point for where to dig back down. So I've done a bit of work ahead of time. I just wanted to show you the progress. And this episode is going to be a bit of cutting and coming back, and I still haven't worked out how to use these mods that some people use, replay mod and camera accounts to do, what do they call them? I've forgotten the name, it's gone right out of my head. The views where you watch somebody building, time lapses. I'll look into this kind of thing. I just don't know how to use them now, and learning new stuff just takes a bit of time. I'll stop talking, so I've got to get going and building this barn. It shouldn't be too difficult. Barns are very easy. They're just wood and other bits of wood and a nice roof. So I'll bring you back when I've done some progress and we can have a look at what it looks like. Welcome back. So, what do you think? I had to cover up the cows. I fell in the cow enclosure, and I suddenly had flashbacks of watching a video by Kalani, where he lost a hardcore world by entity cramming, by falling into a pit with cows. So that suddenly flashed through my mind. Although it wouldn't be a problem for me if I died, but getting stuff back would have been difficult to say the least. So I covered it up just to save myself another headache. What do you think about the shape? I kind of didn't round it off at the top. I think it's okay. It's woody, but these kind of builds have to be. Like barns, they're just wooden. Oh, I think I've missed some slabs off the top there. So we'll go and fill them in. Maybe some stairs. Let's see what this looks like. I know I keep using wood, especially spruce and deep slate variants, as combinations. What if I did that and that? How does that look? It gives it kind of horns. I kind of like that. Yeah, I know I keep using spruce and deep slate, and it's an aesthetic that is very easy. Let's see what this looks like. I missed off those corners for some reason. But yeah, for barns, I mean, you have to make a barn out of wood. There's just nothing else you can make it from. You look at barns in real life and they're made out of wood, and that's just the way it is. and I just don't think you can get around that. But yeah, I'm going to be moving away from using wood all the time. Certainly moving forwards. A lot of these builds, they're still fairly basic. It's like base type stuff. I've got an idea for a mob farm, maybe to do in the next episode perhaps, or some upcoming episode. Obviously you need to build these high up, or up of the ocean, or somewhere where you don't get the mobs underground spawning. I think a common way to kind of hide these floating monstrosities is to do something like a hot air balloon. So you can become creative, and ironically a hot air balloon would require lots of wool, so it's a good job that we're getting this wool farm going. I'm going to sleep just so the mobs don't come out. But yeah, I just wanted to update you on progress. Maybe it's a bit top heavy there. I'll see if I can do something about that part. Let me sleep quickly. Yeah, I'll keep bringing you back when I've done more, and we'll see how it turns out in the end. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, it's been a while, as usual. I keep saying this. Sometimes I only get a chance to play at weekends. Stuff going on during the week. So I haven't played. Haven't made much progress here for a while. After the last part that I filmed, I did finish off this section of the barn, and I moved some of the cows in. I say some of them because we don't need 20 or 30 cows in here. It's mostly for aesthetics. If I need milk is easier to get from them. If I need beef or leather, well, there might be other ways to source those things. I don't want to turn this into a cow farm. I don't want to have 30 or 40 cows cramped in here, because it just doesn't look good in my opinion. But as for the sheep, they have a use, the wool, which we've been discussing. I'll show you this in a second, or maybe we should go down now. So I've been clearing out a bit more space down here for this farm, and it's going to take a lot of room. I forget how many colours there are in Minecraft. I think is it 12 or 14? I'll have to check on this, of course. Maybe it's 16. And you need a kind of setup, a redstone setup for each of them, and that takes space. So it's not going to be an easy thing. We're going to get onto the building of this at some point later in the episode. But there's other things I need to do before that. First I'll show you what the rest of this barn looks like. It's not decorated inside, of course. It's just got some basic shelving, and I think it's really great. I like the oak and the spruce. There's fences to stop the animals escaping. Lanterns, of course. There's a kind of hidden attic up here. Well, it's not hidden. There's a ladder. But for a bit more storage space, I just got my bed down here for the meantime. Well, we can put something cool up here. Maybe if we have a pet or something. I haven't thought, but we can do something with it. So the sheep, I'm keeping them in this pen. I'm going to dig out this region down here, and then just like scoop them in underground to save trying to wrestle with them with the leads. I'll end up putting a few in here, sheep and probably some pigs. Chickens I'll deal with separately. I do want to have a chicken coop, and I want to have an automatic egg collection system as well. I can't speak. An egg collection system, because eggs can be useful too. I got rid of all these crops. This is gonna, we're gonna revamp this region around the house in several ways. Starting with the animals. It's actually really annoying, these animal sounds. I wonder if I can... They're unusually loud, friendly creatures. Let's go to 50. That's much better. I can still hear them, I can still know they're there, but it's, yeah, I think they're a bit too loud. They should be scaled down. So yeah, this is an extension. This part here is an extension of this. It's got the deep slate tiles on the roof, the slabs, and it's still going with the spruce and the oak. I'll probably need to put down another one of these to make sure it doesn't catch on fire, which would not be good. I'm not sure if fire take is off either. That's something to check about. Not fire take, sorry, fire spread. So I don't really want things burning down. I know it's part of the game, but maybe I can stop that in case anything does happen by accident. Because having one of these buildings burning down would not be a lot of fun. Anyway, the next task, because we're trying to get coloured wool, I need to get the dyes. I only have materials for just a few colours. I've got the cocoa beans for brown, the Guardian farm way over there gets me some ink sacs, which is certainly very good. It's not a steady supply, but it's a good start. And that gives me black. There's a few flowers I've collected that give me different colours. But we'll need much more than that. And I think I'm going to have to go out and find this stuff. I don't know whether to set up the wool, the sheep shearing, and have it running, because this is in the spawn chunks, while I'm off collecting these different dyes. And at least I can stockpile some wool, which is still useful. I haven't got too much wool, just a few stacks. Now, it seems like it's a lot, but it doesn't really go very far when you want to use it. I might do that. So I think I'll carry on clearing out the space underground. I'll get some of this redstone out. And I guess the redstone components, I haven't... this is a mistake not having a redstone barrel. I mean, this room is tiny. I need to get out of here as well. It was good at the start, but I'm quickly outgrowing it. I can't remember where I've put any of my redstone materials. I might have to just make some. But we're going to need observers, and we'll need dispensers, and we'll need repeaters, I think. I've built this farm a few times in Bedrock, as I keep saying. I know redstone has some differences between Bedrock and Java, but I can easily work it out. It's not complex redstone, and I'm okay at redstone. So I'll keep making this space, make it a bit bigger, and then we'll come back and I'll demonstrate one of these modular redstone contraptions that will automatically shear the sheep, and then we can duplicate it 12, 14, 16 times, however many colours there are, and I'll check on the colours too. Okay, right, see you soon. Right, I'm back. So I did some quick searching online, and there's 16 colours, and some of them I won't be able to make because I've not found a desert yet. And I knew that cactus gives you green dye. I was pretty certain it was the only thing to give you green dye, and I haven't found any cactus yet. And cactus is really important. Green mixed with blue makes cyan, and cyan is one of the best colours, I think. Maybe not for wool, but certainly for terracotta. It's a kind of bluey grey, and for building with terracotta, it's fantastic. So I would have wanted to set up a cactus farm at some point, but I just need to go and find some. What we're going to do is we're going to try and collect what we can of the colours. So the first few colours, if you look in the kind of, what can you make type. I'm doing this wrong. If you look in the crafting menu for what you can make, it tells you what the colours are, of course. And the first one is white. Oh, wrong box. We get white from bones, so maybe I'll get 12 whites, so we can get them in there, and then redo all of this so the bone meal turns to white dye. So that's great. More mob drops. We need black. Let's do 12 again. This goes straight into a black dye. Perfect. Yeah, that's the first time I've made black dye. So white and black are two of the colours, but there's various shades of grey. There's the one here, grey, light grey. So we can make 3 of them. Let's make 6. And then 6 of these as well. So we want more than just one of each colour, for obvious reasons. To decorate the farm, we'll probably use some glass dyed, some of the wool dyed, obviously we need to dye the sheeps. So we don't just want one of each dye. So that's the 4 kind of the grayscale type ones. Next colour on the list is brown, which we definitely have because it's in the dyes chest. So we'll just take 26 of them. Far more than we need, but still. After brown there's red. Now most of the colours come quite quickly from plants, which is good. We can get 6 of them from this is a double tall plant. After red there is orange, and yes, the yellow. Let's just take all those. We might need them all. Yellow comes straight from the dandelions, and we can make orange. Let's make 4 orange from mixing red and yellow. The next two, lime green and green, we can't get. Lime green can come straight from sea pickles, but I haven't found any of them yet either. And the green is from the cactus, so that's a bit of a problem for me. But we'll just try and move on from that. Cyan as well can't be made. Not directly with what I have now. Cyan is a mix of green and blue, and I need the green from the cactus. One of the recent plants that was introduced when the sniffer was brought in, that can be crafted directly into cyan, and that might be worth getting, but we need to go and find a sniffer egg, so there's always jobs to be done. So we're going to skip both the greens and the cyan and go to light blue. So these things, let's do 3, which I picked up in the swamp. Yes, should go straight to light blue. So green, light green, cyan, light blue. Perfect. Now normal blue is just lapis. Let's just take 12 again. There's no reason for taking 12, it's just a convenient number. So that's 12. You can see all these notifications in the corner. I haven't made the dyes before. So blue. Next one is purple, which is just a mix of blue and red. So I think we should get some more red actually. So we'll get that purple, we'll get a few more reds from these because we got plenty of them. So these flower farms are really important. Forgetting all this stuff. So we've got a decent amount of red still. After purple it is magenta. Is it on this list? Perfect. So magenta's easy as well. Reds, blues, this is fine. We'll get 8 of them. Very nice. What comes next? Have I missed something out? So white, light grey, grey, black, brown, red, orange. Okay, swap orange and yellow. There's lime green, normal green, cyan, light blue, dark blue, purple, magenta. Okay, and pink must be the last one. Or we can just easily get more white. White is easy because it's just bones, so I never have to worry about white dye. Never at all. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, so that would be 16. So we're missing 3, which are the ones that either directly make green or are mixed with green. This is a good start though. So we're going to dump these in the chest in this room we're hollowing out. That's a really good start. I always pick up the flowers when I'm going by because I know I'm going to need these colours for dyes. There's some more yellows up there because we're running a bit short on yellow. Flower farms are ideal. And we have passed through the odd flower forest. So I seem to remember. I see these things I think can go straight to light grey as well. So flowers are the best. Really, really useful. But we either have to go and find... So I've got 20 chests for the collection systems. So yes. So we'll kind of keep them in a kind of order. I still feels like I'm missing one. I said there were 16. 4, 8. No, 3. Okay. Okay, fine. Let's just going crazy there. Never mind. Yes, I'll go straight to light grey. It's perfect. Yes, we'll stick that in there. That in there. Don't need all this steak. Yeah, so either I go and find cactus or sea pickles, or I make this underground farm. I think I'm going to make the underground portion, because we can start dying, or we can just have 3 empty spaces, 3 more white sheep. I think it's worth getting this started so it's running, because I would love to have lots of wool. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to make a bit more space, and I'll come back with some of the redstone components and we can look through how this is actually going to work. Okay, welcome back. So in classic format, nothing goes smoothly. As I was trying to clear some space out, taking out some of the upper levels of this big room, I actually broke a few blocks, and the place I was keeping the sheep, they fell down into this hole, which is fine because I wanted them down here anyway. So now they're just roaming around. One of the issues really, which I forgot when I was planning what I needed to bring down here, is that I don't have silk touch. I did have silk touch on some tools, but I lost them as usual when I died. So what I'm trying to do now is bring the grass down on a kind of staircase, so the grass will spread over dirt. And as long as I get some grass down here that can spread onto the blocks I want, I'll be fine. So that was a lucky kind of save, I think. Anyway, let's demonstrate how this is going to work. So what I've done is I've crafted up some dispensers. And dispensers, you can put a tool inside, like shears, and they will be used. They'll be dispensed. And then immediately after they're used, they're pulled back inside. So you can have a quick shear of something, and then it goes back into the dispenser if you give it another redstone signal. You can do the same thing with buckets of water, anything really. Observers. Oops, I placed that the wrong way. Maybe you're familiar with redstone, maybe you're not. Redstone is just like electricity in Minecraft, and it can be used for many useful things. This is an observer, so this watches to see if the state of a block changes. So at the moment the face is pointing against this block, which is empty space, and you can see that a signal is going to come out the back, and if the observer sees something change here, it's going to put out a redstone pulse here. I can demonstrate that quite nicely with some redstone wire. Even if I place redstone down here, it will still give the pulse. See, it didn't change them because the sheep just walked in front of it. You need to change the block state. So you can put the redstone down, take it back up, and this changes the properties of this block. So at the moment it's an empty space, but when I put this down, it's a block that contains redstone ore. So what we can do with this is we can have a grass block, once the grass has spread, positioned here, right in front of the observer. So when the sheep eats the grass block to grow back its wool, this can give off a signal, and we can connect this signal to the dispenser that will dispense the shears and take the wool. And it's only going to dispense the shears when the wool is ready to be sheared. And otherwise it will just do nothing. It's a pretty efficient system. All we need to do is now arrange them in a certain way, to try and be as compact as we can with the space. And we want 8 on this side and 8 on this side basically, so a row of 16 going down this hall. So the best way to do this, I think, we also need space beneath to actually collect the blocks. And we would have a hopper, or hopper minecart actually, beneath these dirt blocks, because the sheep is going to be sitting right on here. It's a pretty cruel farm actually, so you trap these sheep in 1 by 1 blocks. It's not what you would call humane, but then again, these are Minecraft mobs, they're not real animals. So the sheep sits in there basically, in a box. So we need a mine cart with a hopper beneath this block to collect the wool. So we still need to dig down a tiny bit more, but if we were, for example, to set up one of our first ones here, we might have the grass block. We'll give it some space on the side for decoration. Grass block, so we want the observer. I probably need more space behind actually. Grass block when it spreads. We want the observer facing into the grass block. This is going to be a nightmare with these sheep. Perfect. Oh, that's pointing the wrong way. I need to be at the side. Placing some of these components is very tricky. So now the observer is looking in. Oh, that's the wrong way again. That's the right way. Now the observer is looking into the grass block. The signal's going to come out the back, so we could have this here. Can you move, please? This is exactly why I didn't want the sheep down here. And we could have something like... Okay, well let's... So the dispenser has to go here. So the dispenser has to go there to shear the sheep. Now redstone is different on Java from Bedrock. Can you move? I can't stand this. Move. I'm sorry, it's just so, it's so annoying when these mobs get in the way. I don't want to kill them, but... Okay, so redstone coming out here. In Bedrock, you would have glass here, and you would have a repeater or something going back into here, because glass will transmit the signal through it. I wonder if we can use... let's try this. I wonder if we can use planks instead. Need the crafting table. Yeah, see, that can't go on there because there's redstone here. Will that connect? Ah, it did. So what we want to look for is the tick. So if this ticks, it means it's dispensing. And there's nothing in there now, but it would dispense some shears. So here, it doesn't look like this redstone connects, but it will kind of staircase up these slabs, and it will also activate this dispenser. You could have an extra bit of redstone on here, but it's redundant because it will activate the dispenser anyway. So we just need to listen out for the tick to check it's working. So let's try this again. We can also see the redstone flash. Tick. Tick. Okay, should be working fine. So we can use this kind of modular system. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. all the way along. And that will look quite good. And we can have this kind of passageway in the middle we can walk along. And all it will take is getting sheep into these spaces, which will not be difficult either. So it's 4 long, 1, 2, 3, 4, with a block at the front to stop them getting out. I think we've got enough space here. Okay, I'll start getting these sorted, and then I'll bring you guys back. So, just to come back and show you a bit of the progress. The grass is starting to spread, which is great. Still frustrating that I don't have Silk Touch to just do it quickly, but well, that's what happens. We can make do. We can find other ways to get this working. Yeah, so it's going along nicely. I've set up all of the dispenser and observer systems. All of them have the redstone in, so they're ready to go. I need to place glass down on some of the blocks. So the block that's underneath here, when this is eaten by the sheep, it will turn back to dirt. And if we don't find a way to turn it back to grass, then it's just a one-time shearing and you will never be able to shear the sheep again. So we need grass blocks next to these blocks as well, for the grass to then spread again and the sheep can eat it. So these have to be kept safe, so glass blocks on top. Glass doesn't change it back to dirt, although another block would do if it was solid. So a glass block can go there as well, because this is the chamber where the sheep is going to sit. And in fact the glass block could go there as well. So it's kind of like waiting for this to spread. I've contained the sheep again, as you can see. I'm just making these kind of passageways for the soil. In the meantime, I'm going to start making this look a bit nicer, because we do not want stone walls, we don't want a dirt roof, we don't want a stone floor. And also we need a collection system beneath these blocks. So what we need to do is dig down and have a hopper minecart beneath it will be that block. I don't want to break it. So we want to have something to collect the wool when it's produced. So we'll need 16 hopper minecarts, which will then feed into chests. We have to use a hopper minecart because the dirt block is a full block, and a hopper won't collect things from underneath a full block. Grass just spread there, excellent. So it's a bit of an expensive farm, but it's worth it in the end. One thing we could do is have a single hopper minecart running in a circle or along rails. In fact, that might be a better thing. Although the issue I have with that is it collects all the colours of wool and then mixes them up when it deposits them in a central chest. And building a separate item filter is a lot of work, because we already have filtered things out initially, based on the fact we're going to have different sheep in the different plots. I think actually 16 hopper minecarts is slightly more efficient, and it will therefore output a particular colour of wool into a particular chest for me, and that works quite nicely for me. Although once again, 16 hopper minecarts is a lot of iron. Despite the fact I found some minecarts in the mine shaft, it's still going to be an expensive project. So we'll get going on that, and we'll come back once I've done a bit more. Yay. So this guy is about to have a really bad day, because he has exactly what I need, and he decided to come into my house. Now, I'm a kind of stand your ground kind of person, so this burglar needs to go. Now he's disappeared. Okay, so I've got looting on the sword. Fire aspect should make this kind of easy. Fire aspect makes it hard, so but looting should make it easy. There he is. Coming back for more, are you? I need that grass block. How much health does he have? Yes, the Endermen, they're pretty tough. Yeah, got him. Easy peasy. So did I get the grass block? Yes. It's amazing how much you value something as simple as a grass block when you're trying to let grass spread just to do a wool farm. So I was on the way back to pick up some wool. I'm going to start putting down... I'll just take all this. Well, I'll just take the red for the sake of it. I'll show you what I was doing. I came back to get the wool, and then he decided to break into my house. I mean, you all saw it. I was just defending my property. So, I've got some trapdoors just to get in here. We're going to have a central walkway down the middle. It might not be spruce, but this is just the block I have on me right now. They're kind of in the way again. I never plan these things. I just put things in certain places and have to move them. So what I want to do is I want to have the wool that's relevant to the sheep that's in the pen displayed. I mean, you'll be able to see the colour of the sheep anyway, but if we do this as a kind of U shape, the white sheep will go in there, and then I know it's white here. It's a bit like in your face, I guess, but hey, it'll do the job. So what we want to do now is dye everything. Everything that we don't need. So let me just get rid of all this. Yes, that's my prized grass block. So we'll start off. Oh, there's no more space. I guess we've done white. So we'll take one of each. This should be quite good. Still missing the greens, but hey. So we can use one dye in a 3x3 crafting with 8 wool around to get 8 coloured wool. So there's only going to be 8 sets of wool I can get there. So if I do this, that should be 64. I'm missing 3. So I could leave 24 back. And then this will be the perfect amount. That's why you need to be able to do maths in your head, guys. Stay in school. Oh, do not want to fall on there. Okay, let's do this. Shouldn't be too difficult. So if I can do this... Oh, wait. I can't dye wool. No. Am I going crazy? Just another one of these. Oh, it's one dye per wool. What? Okay, I'm thinking of glass. I must have been thinking of glass. Oh, unbelievable. Should I do glass instead? It's more efficient. I don't have a lot of glass. Oh, that's crazy. I thought it was one dye per... This is why we need the sheep. Okay. Well, that problem solved itself. I wonder if glass would look okay here. Do you think glass would look better there? Coloured glass? I kind of like the wool because it shows you what you have. I could have glass down here and wool in the background. Let's just try this. Of course I didn't get any white because I thought I was done with white. So we'll make some white glass anyway. So how do I do this? White stained glass. Yes. Okay. So I want to take this wool back. I guess it makes the point. But then I have to replace everything that's beneath because I don't want random stone beneath. Oh, I mean that's not the biggest deal in the world. What about having wool behind? I want to be able to show off these colours. So this is the glass. I've got a texture pack on that makes it look clearer, because normal glass doesn't look very good in my opinion. What if I did this? So these are modular. Would that still trigger? That should still trigger. This looks quite good, I think. Let's still trigger. I don't want to. I can see if it would. It will still trigger. If we hear the click, it triggers. Oh no, because it's not powered. Oh, I think that's going to be fine. Huh, I can live with that. Right, so we'll do the coloured glass. We'll fill in these little U shapes with the glass, and when I get the wool, I'll do the behind part. It's not a bad solution. Okay, right, I'll see you in a bit. Welcome back. Lots changed. I've finished off. Oh, the minute I start talking, I notice there's a hole in the roof. I finished off this downstairs part. I put in the coloured glass, which I think looks good. I was going to put white wool underneath everything to try and bring out the colour. I think the best thing to bring out the colour is the colour of the wool that is being used for this station. So white is just there temporarily. I haven't bothered with the rest because I quickly worked out that the white kind of shows through. But we need to accumulate the wool to use it. That's obvious. Everything should be ready to try and get these things, these sheep, inside these little pens here. I've put the shears inside the dispensers, so it's really ready to go, apart from the collection system. I can deal with that. I just want to get things set up. I can easily slip minecarts underneath here. I've already dug the tunnels that will go down. Just need to position things in the right way. I just want to try and get these sheep inside, and I know it's going to be a nightmare. But working with mobs always is. It's always an absolute nightmare. So we're going to try anyway. I could use leads. Yeah, see, the issue is it's a bit too short for me. Really need these sheep to just jump up. I need to push them in quickly. And then when they're in, yeah, that's the problem. When they're in, they come back out again. There's never good ways to do this kind of stuff. No, don't move. got to get away to get on top. Maybe that's the best way to do this. See, he's in. Oh, see? See? Oh, I cannot stand working with mobs. I cannot stand it. Like, it's necessary. It's necessary evil. But I cannot stand it. He's done it again. I should just cut this out of the video. I probably shouldn't show this. It's just horrific. I don't want to keep hitting them because they'll die. They're so weak, the sheep. I don't know how other people do this. Get in the hole. Thank you. Get in the hole. Why don't let me place it? Why don't let me place a block? It's ridiculous. Go in. Can he get out? That's the thing. He should be able to get out of there, but I can't place the block. Okay, well, he's in. For now. 1 down. 15 more to go. Okay, 3rd time looking to record this segment. The last 2 times I tried, my kids started making a lot of noise in the background. So, what are you going to do? The sheep are going well. You can see that some of them are being sheared automatically, which is great. I'm just trying to fill in these last few. Okay, so this one's blue, light blue. So the routine here is to take out the shears because you want them. Should be fine. So take out the shears to grow back the wool, then you can dye them. I shouldn't have put the shears in the first place, but that's just how it goes. Take out the shears to dye them. Take out the shears so they grow their wool. Dye them, and then you're fine. Then you can put the shears back in the dispensers. Yeah, I didn't have to have the shears in the dispensers initially. That would have been a shortcut. Okay, there we go. So that is magenta. Perfect. So pink. So now he has his wool. Yeah, it's actually kind of annoying process. So you actually have to shear them first, then put the dispensers back in. Then put the shears in the dispensers, and then you're ready to go. So right now, if this dispenser tried to fire, it couldn't shear him. And of course, that's not what we want to happen. So, if you can get the shears back in before they regrow their coat, then you're golden. This is blue. That's what we want to do, and I want to put the shears in. It's tricky business, but it's worth it. And I'm going to start losing drops, that's the problem. Because they're just sitting on the floor. It's not a big deal at the end of the day. Because they should be running constantly in the spawn chunks, as I keep saying. Which is going to do wonders. Have I done everything now? I don't think he's been dyed. Yeah, I'm not sure he's been dyed. And of course all these extras that I'm picking up can just go on these back walls to highlight the colour, or go underneath. Yes, there we go. Okay, so pink. Pink dye, there's pink dye. Oh, clinical. So yeah, once you get the workflow down, it's absolutely fine. I must have one dispenser left to fill. That's got shears in. That's got shears in. It's got shears in. That has shears. This one doesn't. So why are you not growing? Light blue. Ah, but he's already been. I thought I dyed him already. I have to wait till he grows his coat back to see. His coat, his wool. So much wool. It's so efficient, this farm. It's a great farm. And what I should do actually is run back and just try and set up something with a hopper minecart. Just so I can be collecting this stuff, because it's just criminal just to have this stuff lying around and potentially despawning. So we'll do that. We'll set up a collection system quickly. Then I'll make these look a bit nicer, because at the moment these are just the trapping blocks. But we want this to look somewhat decent. I still might do something with this central walkway, but we'll see. Okay, right, so I'll go and set up the system and then I'll show you how it works. Welcome back, everybody. Okay, so I've finished what I want to for kind of today's episode. I'm in this little attic part of the barn. The barn it's not quite finished. I could do some more decorating, and obviously I will. But for now, I've got a lot done actually, and I'm pretty proud. So I thought I'd show you how the outside has changed. You can see I've planted some trees, the azalea and this big cherry in the middle. I think it goes really well. It's a bit big actually. When I planted it, it kind of sprouted off 2 main trees, and one is a bit too close to the house. I'm not sure what I think about that, but I can deal with it for now. If I have to change it, I will. But it sits really nicely in this triangular region here, which is formed between the paths, which I've now done to connect some of the builds. Now I don't want the paths to just be the path blocks. I would like to integrate some other stuff in there, especially the mud bricks. Oh, there's lots of mobs around. I wanted to do this when it was kind of atmospheric, because it looks a lot nicer in the dark, but I have to be careful for the mobs. Yeah, I want to integrate in some of the mud bricks and some other things I need silk touch to acquire. Silk touch is really, really important. But I've done some preliminary paths. I've mixed in some birch with some smooth sandstone in this little part for the beach leading off the pier. So you can come all the way down here, do your fishing, start coming up. You've got the lily pads, need a few more of them, put some of them in the water. Here's this tower. Something's going to have to be done about this tower because it's just in the way now. That's the first tower that I built. I want to do something to keep it, but it can't stay as it is. Planted a few azaleas. This podzol needs taking up. I do not want a big patch of podzol. But this is the kind of block that would go nicely inside the barn, inside the animal shelters. But I need silk touch to get it up. That's the problem. So I'm kind of got my hands tied as to how much I can actually finish off at this time. Some more azaleas. This will be moved as well. This was just for convenience earlier. Doesn't really fit well in that position. So I've got a path coming this side. I've got a path going this side. This one leads nicely over to the barn. Still haven't put the animals in. I left all the sheep downstairs and it was hard to get them up again, so, well, I just killed the extras. But I'll get some sheep in there, some pigs in there, with a bit more decoration. The cherry blossom with the particles is amazing. The barn itself is pretty good. And then we have this path connecting the barn front door to the wizard's tower, where we do the enchanting. I kind of like these vines hanging all the way over the door. So I think I'm going to keep them. They keep on growing and I keep on cutting them. But I will let them grow. And yeah, I mean, maybe that's it for the outside. These won't stay. They were also temporary. I want to do some proper street lamps. I'll get a design I like and that fits the build. And we'll use street lamps rather than these posts. But they're good for the meantime. There's also another light, not a light block, but a light, well, maybe you can call it a light block. So you have an end rod on the ground, and then above you have the mushroom block. And it looks like a tiny, tiny mushroom, but it gives off lots of light, which is absolutely great. They look really cute, especially in these kind of like, you know, cottagecore type builds. So anyway, let's go down here. This is probably the best thing I can have for the entrance, to be honest. A proper... Why does it not let me do that? A proper entrance might take up a bit too much space, and I don't know, it's not going to work too well. So, I think this turned out so nicely in the end. I'm really happy with how all this has gone. I did a mix of stone brick, which is an easy material to get after smelting the cobblestone. There's a mixture of oak, spruce, and some paintings. So the paintings, of course, come from the wool. So it's very easy to make paintings now, which is great, because there's so many different paintings, and they just add so much colour to these builds. So here's the farm. So we've got 8 on one side, 8 on the other, with those 3 at the end that are still white, unfortunately. We need the green dyes. So we've got the glass base with the coloured wool underneath. There's light grey, dark grey, black. I think it looks quite good. I've got the wool behind. You can barely see this glass with the texture pack. I'm not sure how I like that. It's very hard to work with, actually, because you don't know if you've placed it in the right place. But for now it will do. I keep saying that, don't I? I'm not unhappy with it. I just think that maybe, I don't know, it works in some situations like this. It's completely seamless, and I love this. It looks like, well, I was going to say it looks like glass, but it actually looks really amazing without the seams. But then when it's just plain glass like this, it's a bit more unusual. So more paintings. Bed. Let's go down beneath. So this is all active now. You can hear the minecart rolling around. I didn't decorate the basement, so yeah, it's just stone brick, redstone. But this is an easy thing to make. I mean, I don't know how good you guys are at redstone. I'm not an expert at redstone, but this is just the simplest thing. So we've got powered rails on a redstone block. There's minecarts going around in a horseshoe shape underneath all of the bits of grass that the sheep are eating. There's some hoppers here, which are taking the drops into these chests. And I decided to have some chests on either side just to kind of split the load. It's going quite well. I can't really count rates, but okay, we don't want them in there, do we? And this isn't sorted, but I can auto sort with this kind of extra function that I have from one of the mods, which really helps. One of the big problems with pure vanilla Minecraft is the way the inventory is managed. Things like automatic sorting and automatic moving of large volumes of stuff is just essential. So this cart is just continuously going around. It's going back and forwards, back and forwards. It's got some stuff in. No, it hasn't. But it's picking up anything it can, and it drops it off when it reaches one of the stations. You can make redstone, where the minecart will just stop, and it will not go again until it's fully unloaded. But the problem with that is, it's picking up 16 different types of blocks here, and those kind of farms where you have a station and you stop for unloading, it's best if you're picking up large quantities of the same thing, because then you do have a lot to drop off. If this stopped every time it was dropping off a different coloured wool, it would just take too long to go around. I think the system's absolutely fine. We're getting the drops, nothing's remaining in the minecarts, and well, I mean, it's working as intended. There's all the leftover materials. There's still some wool in there, actually. Got my dyes down to just a few because of making the glasses and the wool. Dyes will be a big priority for me at some point. Find a sustainable way to get the colours. Some of them are already sorted. Brown is sorted with the cocoa beans. Black is kind of sorted with the ink sacs. White is definitely sorted. Just make absolutely sure there's no creepers around here. White is sorted with the bones. You know, white is the easiest dye to get. And yeah, well, maybe this is it for the episode. So we got our house, we got the wizard's tower, got the nether portal over there, which we'll do something with at some point. Yeah, I keep putting that one off. I tore up these because I want to fill this in, actually level out the ground. I'm not really a big fan of this dip down. And we'll make some kind of farmland, which looks quite good. That's one of the fireplaces, the campfires that we placed very early on. I think I might leave it there as a kind of like a memento. I like these paths, they can be improved, but they give a bit of connectivity to the builds at this point, so I'm happy with that. Overall, I think this is shaping up quite nicely, and hopefully you agree. I mean, if you guys have any suggestions, I've already had some nice suggestions actually, for various things, nothing really like criticisms or comments on the build, which, you know, is like, I'm prepared to hear them as well if you want. Some of the comments have just been more about lore building, so to speak, and they've been great comments. I appreciate them. I'll try and enact some of them if I can, but I've got a list as long as my arm of things to do, and everything's got to come in its time. But yeah, I am really pleased with this. Some of these azaleas kind of slant off in the wrong direction. Like, I don't really want this slanting towards the roof here, because it gives it a bit of a claustrophobic feel. And it's the same for this cherry tree actually. It was just unfortunate it branched off in two ways. I planted the sapling down here, of course. I could take it down and try again, I don't know, but we'll see. So anyway, here's the barn, with some animals. We've got the wool going down below. Wool's going to be great to build with. I'm absolutely going to use wool in the future. It doesn't fit in with these kind of builds so well. Like, it can, but maybe I can't make it work properly. And we'll improve these paths at some point. But for now, you know what? I think it's been a good episode. I'm going to think of what to do next time. It'll be either exploring, building, it's hard to say. But for now, thank you again for watching. It's really nice, the support I've been hearing, not only online but also in real life, from the people who know me and who are watching these videos. So yeah, thank you again, and I'll see you next time.